Seth Rollins is back. Danhausen was in the box. Randy Orton and Rhea Ripley are going to WrestleMania, and none of this is surprising, but it happened. Let's talk about it.
It all happened in Chi-Town. Let's go.
Woo!
Uh-oh.
Yes, boy!
French toast is the exchange student that you have like a 3-week affair with.
Hey, we can see that you don't have pants on.
Somebody hit somebody with a pie. Do something.
Giovanni yelling we're out of time as we go off the air.
Giovanni yelling a lot of things tonight.
And welcome to the Mark It Down podcast.
You know, I haven't really thought about it, but like, are we heels now because Nana's a heel?
Oh,
Like,
I never really thought about our intro. I was thinking you guys have said like, oh, we need to do a new intro. I like ours the way it is. I would like to get some new clips though, if we had, stuff with wrestlers that were, widescreen.
I think it's got to be a little bit of both, but we'll figure that out. But either way, I think we're a little bit villainous. I think we're a little bit evil. And, we're not the only ones. We'll talk about him as the show gets going. But welcome to the Mark It Down podcast this Saturday night. I'm James Gisanti, the birthday boy, and I'm joined by Mean Streak Matt Cascone himself, and we are here to cover the Elimination Chamber. Now, guys, no hate. I thought this was a pretty solid show, a pretty it had some really good moments, but overall, and Matt and I were talking about this right before we went live, Matt said it best. Not the show you really want to have going into WrestleMania. And Matt,
something big, something needed to deliver here, and it didn't. It was just kind of all like on par. There was stuff I liked. There was stuff I didn't like. There was nothing that I loved or that really newsworthy, but you'll still like our opinions. So keep watching. We'll have some funny quips and whatnot.
What up, Hunter? How you doing? Been a while. Welcome to the chat. Welcome. We're doing good. Hope you're having a good Saturday night. Just to answer your quick question, did you buy 2K26? I have not yet. But two of the pod members have, and we're hoping to put some content out soon. No promises on that, but stay tuned. Stay tuned on that.
I have a thought, not for now, but for later. I'm definitely going to post it, do like a video, and have a kind of a synopsis of thoughts and feelings on 2K26. I know it hasn't come out yet, but just the packages in general, how things have changed, how things have stayed the same. Yada, yada, yada. That I'll definitely be dropping something. The plan is to drop something about that, probably on March 6th when it comes out.
All right. Very cool. Very cool. So stay tuned for that, Hunter. But we're here. Not a lot to cover because these these premium live events only I feel like we're getting fewer and fewer matches. This was a 4-match card with one segment on the side. You know what, Matt? I said we were going to start with the men's event. Let's just get the mystery box stuff out of the way.
What's in the box?
Yeah, I mean, for some people, exactly what they expected. For other people, somewhat of a disappointment. I am not disappointed whatsoever. This is exactly what I figured would be in the box, as Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis both pried open this box that has been on WWE television for the last several weeks, going back and forth between cities and shows. We knew it was going to be open today, and it was. And out comes Danhausen. Yes. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I'm happy for him. I am so happy for Danhausen. No matter how I may feel about a talent, if I'm a fan or not, or whatever, I never want to see somebody not being used if they want to work. And we've criticized WWE for doing this in the past, and he was the victim of it in AEW, where Danhausen was not being used. I think he was put on television once in the last year and a half, 2 years.
Very bizarre. I don't know what the deal was there, but yeah, it was like from the get-go, he had an awesome random tag team with Hook that everybody loved. They got one match together. I think it was a pre-show of a pay-per-view. and then they never teamed again. So it was a one-off. But even after that, he was just doing random sporadic appearances, sort of with Orange Cassidy's crew. And then, yeah, like you said, maybe one television appearance in the last year. Just very strange. I guess not everything gels together. Hopefully it's better here in WWE.
I heard one thing that I can't 100% verify. It's just reports that I read. One report was Tony very much wanted Danhausen to be a fixture of Collision very early on. And Danhausen refused because he makes so much money on the convention circuit that he refused to be on Collision. And that may or may not have rubbed Tony the wrong way. And just as opposed to putting him, he just didn't use him at all.
I could see that being the case. I would hope that Tony would just be like, "Oh, that's disappointing, but okay, we got to work you in on Wednesdays. We got to figure something else. I got to have some other fixture on Saturday." Yeah. I don't think the fans would care that this guy's a fixture on Saturday. Like, oh, I have to tune in Saturday because Danhausen is there.
Well, I don't think that was the point as much as Tony had something he had in mind, and instead of playing ball, Danhausen said no. And when he was told no, Tony, again, this is just a report I read. I can't verify it, but Tony probably got his horns twisted. And if you're not going to do what I ask, I'm not going to work harder for you. And it's a bummer. You don't ever want to see somebody sidelined for this long, especially at around his age and his, I think, mid-30s.
Yeah.
So overall, this is the right move. He's got a lot of friends in WWE, his biggest being Pepsi Phil. So I'm sure he's very happy to have a change of scenery, have a shot. And I don't know. I'm rooting for him. I can't say that I'm clamoring to see what's next for Danhausen in WWE. I wish him success. I wish him well. But I'm not, oh my God, Danhausen, this guy's got to win a title tomorrow. Like, I'm good.
I'd love to see some sort of interaction with Mr. Iguana. Not right off the bat, but whether it's a match or an interaction, or them in the Royal Rumble next year, though I don't think Iguana will be in the Royal Rumble 2 years in a row, unless
I hope not.
Unless he has like an absolute amazing 2026. You know what I mean? Like really unstoppable titles, 5-star matches, selling out all the merch, that kind of thing.
No, and like I said, I am always rooting for everyone to be successful. Iguana, Danhausen. I will say, and it's a bummer. It is unfortunate. If there was an arena that was going to give a shit about Danhausen's debut and really know who this guy was, it was going to be in Chicago. And they did not.
I thought he got a decent pop.
He did not. It died like, I think it was like, oh, it's Danhausen, but there, like, I'm saying this objectively. I wish he got a bigger pop. It's just the crowd was not there for it. When the lights turned out, when after, like, he came out accompanied by Danhausen dancers.
Yeah, let's go from the beginning. Like,
yeah, go for it.
What annoyed me at the beginning was we're like, okay, we're seeing they're talking about the box. They see the box. They're zooming into the box, and we see Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis prying it open with crowbars. That could have easily been a spot where they talk to each other and they argue about this box. Whose box is it? Like, who's going to have to deal with what's inside? I like both of them. They've had, like, clashes in the past. I always think it's great to bring that up because you never know if either of these guys is ever going to wrestle again. Yeah. So I think right off the bat, that was a mistake. Just, like, we saw, it was like, oh yeah, we'll take care of it on Saturday, and we're taking care of it now, but there's no what's the word? Not a lead up, but there's no rehash of the synopsis, which obviously the crowd doesn't need. But again, like I said, I like to see those two clash. It also builds up the anticipation. And then afterwards, when you do reveal in the box, they can argue who has to take him or who wants them. You know what I mean? So the box regardless, the box opens. Danhausen comes out. He comes out with dancers, which were great, like dancing Danhauser dancers. He's got new gear with his face on his crotch, which is pretty funny.
Yep.
I think somewhat of a body too, like doing the curse. He does the dance. He does the curse. He comes out down to the crowd. He leaves his jar of teeth at Michael Cole's at the commentary desk with Michael Cole. Also, funny thing, before they got to the box, when they were, getting to the box, what's his name? Wade Barrett was making Christmas Story references. Saying
And much to Cole's disgust, which was funny.
Fragile, the Italian.
But just going off this comment here, Hunter Iggy saying Danhausen got booed hard. I don't know how much it was that Danhausen got booed. I think the crowd really started booing when the lights were turned out after the dance. And, he does his pose, because they realized that's all it was. They weren't getting anything else out of it. They weren't getting a match. They weren't getting a segment. It was just, here's Danhausen. And I get it. I get feeling a little let down by that. I don't want to believe they were booing him, but overall, I have to imagine this was not the reaction WWE was hoping for, especially last week. They had to reassure people, they were loud about it. Don't expect someone like Jericho. This is meant to be more of a comedy thing. And I don't know how anybody could have looked at that box and not expected it to be a comedy thing. But that's that. He's here now. It's where he wanted to be all along. I'm happy for him. I have to imagine his first feud is going to be with someone that will be able to carry the funny with him, whether that's The Miz or Dominic Mysterio or I don't know. I don't know. But it's going to be fun. I would hope. And to your bit about Aldis and Pierce, could have had a fun back and forth. I think it would be fun moving forward if they sort of do a bit think back to when the brand split happened with Heath Slater, where he was just never drafted, where Aldis and Pierce both don't want Danhausen because they don't want to put up with his antics. So they each keep sending him to the other show. But we'll see. Early on,
I think that'd be funny, but I think it might have even been funnier if both of them wanted what was in the box, and then when it comes out to Danhausen, and that's what we missed.
I agree.
This is yours. No, this is yours.
Yeah.
I want it. Yeah.
That would have been great.
And I think the crowd was booing the booking because I don't think the light should have gone out. It should have just gone to commercial, or again, we should have had a segment in the ring. It could have been Miz. It could have been R-Truth with Miz. You have things there that you can do. All this felt like was the was it I'm trying not to use and as much as
you're good. No judgments here.
All right. It felt like WrestleMania 28 with what the hell is it? The Funkasaurus play and the dancing.
Yeah.
That just led to nothing, but that was fine. It was WrestleMania, and it wasn't a new person. We knew about him already.
Yeah, I mean, we knew about him. You have to imagine there is a large contingent of the WWE audience who doesn't know who Danhausen is.
No, I meant we knew who Brodus Clay was.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, fair.
So it wasn't a debut. That would be a bad debut.
For sure. All right. That's enough on Danhausen. Wish him well. Let's see how this goes. But let's start with the main event of the show, the men's elimination chamber, where the winner will face Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. This match had Cody Rhodes, Logan Paul, LA Knight, Javon Evans, and Trick Williams. Did I miss anybody? Oh, and Randy Orton.
Yes.
And Randy Orton. Long time no see, Dragon. Welcome to the party. I have this match. This felt like the tale of two matches, where the first half of this match did not work for me at all. At all. The back end of this match, the back half of this match, is where everyone's really going to be talking. I think there's one element from the first half of this match that people are going to acknowledge. But I think all of the things that really matter are the back end. Starting the match out was Cody Rhodes and Javon Evans, which to me was a mistake. I would not have had Cody versus Javon to start things up. I would have had Cody versus Trick.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I would have just had you put Javon in it to inject energy into the match. So you have one or two guys, or two or three guys wrestling. You have maybe the first person come out, and then Javon comes in and just explodes, bouncing off the walls, bouncing off all of his opponents. I thought it was a mistake to have him go first.
I think that's fair.
After Javon, I was Trick Williams. And again, I think if you traded Trick and Javon, much better. Much better. Cody versus Trick, that you have a heel versus a face right there. And a heel that people are excited to see. After Trick, who definitely got his chance, is incredibly over, and the crowd was just happy to see him doing his stuff. Out came LA Knight. Was it Knight or was it? It was Paul. It was Logan Paul. Yeah, Logan Paul came in.
Immediately gets beat the crap out of. I wish they had done the not Planet Terror and the other one, Death Proof. I wish they had done the Death Proof thing where Logan Paul's in the middle and the three of them are surrounding him and just punching him he gets punched by one guy, he bounces off, and he gets punched by the next guy, he bounces off. But yeah, they should have done that.
Yeah. No, I think that would have been really fun. But I enjoyed what they did. Let's just hit these comments real quick as they're coming. Chris Leclerc saying hi Chris, by the way, hope you're doing well. Not mad that Randy Orton won. I'm not either, actually. Of all of the people who could have realistically won, it would have been him or Knight for me. But I'm not mad at Randy Orton winning. And just to finish off the last segment, Dragoon saying, real quick, only reason Danhausen got booed was because people expected Jericho. That's it, nothing more. I think it's kind of twofold. People don't know who Danhausen was, so this was a build-up to nothing for them. And it was just, as Matt put it so well before, it was a nothing segment. They could have done so much more with it, but all they got was a silly little dance number. But
he could have even just cursed Michael Cole. Michael Cole could have gone into the ring, and Danhausen could have cursed him right then and there, said you are cursed.
Yeah, something to get a feel. Something to get a feel of who this guy is. No, I completely agree with you.
Yeah, it was great, but it was hollow.
Yes, hollow is, and I feel like you could say that about the whole pay-per-view. After the beatdown to Paul, he gets a little bit of offense in, but LA Knight comes in, and this is where it just felt so awkward. It felt so awkward with Knight there, and I think nothing against Paul, the wrestler here. He sucks as a human being. Blah blah blah. This is where it was very clear that Bronson Reed should, we're all very upset that he got hurt. We wish him a very speedy recovery, but this is why he was needed for that match, because you need that big monster of a person in the match. The women had two, arguably three, but the men just didn't have that. So you just had two heels back to back who aren't doing anything different for the match. And then Knight comes in and he's supposed to be, I guess, the babyface relief, but there was nothing there. There was no real relief to be had. So it was just really awkwardly booked. First elimination coming. Randy comes in and then we get our first elimination, right?
More or less, yeah. Javon goes for a big frog splash from the top of the chamber pod, and the crowd doesn't even pop that hard for it. I mean, I think it's something we've seen before.
Yeah,
it wasn't anything particularly nuts. It's nuts for the average person.
Yeah, it's a fun spot, but it's not this major spot anymore. But it is still a fun spot, and realistically, I understand what they were going for, but you should have had him pin Trick off of that. But Javon goes for the frog splash. He then gets caught by Logan Paul, who hits the pulverizer. I think it's called.
And almost kills him.
Dude, you saw that, right? He landed right on his head.
I think he grabbed him enough that he protected his head. But Javon, to me, it looked like he didn't rotate enough.
Yeah,
and Logan kind of got an extra kind of grip on him, so I think his head was protected, but still, damn, that was crazy.
I got really nervous, and I was glued to the referee. I was like, please don't throw up the X. Please don't throw up the X. But thankfully, he seems to be fine. I hope, But yeah, scary spot. So Logan Paul picking up the first pin. We then go to he then rolls up LA Knight. 1, 2, 3. And that's where I feel like so much air was just deflated from the match.
Well, we gave LA Knight a low blow, but yeah, I really wanted LA Knight to win this match. I was pretty positive he wasn't. I thought it was going to come down to Cody or Randy. But to be honest, even though if that's not the Knight versus Drew McIntyre at Mania, maybe that doesn't grab the casual fans' attention. It's still something that could deliver, and Knight most certainly deserves it.
Oh, I agree.
We've discussed it on this pod that, Jay, if they had given LA Knight the U.S. title a year before they did, he could have gotten Jay's Royal Rumble, spot and an eventual world heavyweight title victory at Mania. And it just hasn't worked out that way. It's
I don't even know where you slot him at this point either. Like, I can't
messes around with the vision. Like maybe, we'll get. I'll say later on.
We'll talk. So now Paul has 2 eliminations, and then how did he get the pin on Trick? Oh no! Oh, Cody hits the crossroads onto Trick, but then Paul throws Cody away because he wants the pin himself. And now at this point, Logan Paul has three eliminations.
Exactly.
And the final 3 men of this match are Cody Rhodes, Logan Paul, and Randy Orton. It's at this point that we get the Masked Mystery Man. And no, it wasn't Don Furio like it was last night on SmackDown. It was another nameless, faceless young whippersnapper who we have no idea who it was.
We'll learn his name before midnight. We'll learn his name before tomorrow.
I'm sure. And it's at this point that I think every security guard in the city, not just in the building, but every security guard in maybe the state of Illinois, grabbed this mystery man, dragged him up the ramp while he's smiling and laughing.
Yeah, Adam Pearce grabbed his mask off.
Adam Pearce removes the mask, all for a big old nothing. It's at this point a second Masked Mystery Man gets in the ring, hits a mid kick to Logan Paul, and then hits a curb stomp. Cody Rhodes then gets the pin. Logan Paul is eliminated. And finally, the real Masked Mystery Man is revealed to be none other than Seth frickin' Rollins. Oh my God! What? I had no idea.
It was a solid reveal, and I love Paul Heyman screaming his lungs out.
Yeah, he stole
it.
Oh
God, no. But at the same time, they didn't show. Did they even show Paul? Because it's like, where the hell is Austin Theory? He could have interfered in this. Did Austin Theory go with the security guards? Because I don't think he did. That pissed me off. The fact that Austin Theory and Paul Heyman are there at ringside for Logan Paul's match, and somehow Austin Theory disappears or doesn't intervene when a new masked man enters the ring.
What I'm going to headcanon it as, it's very clear that Theory's role is just to be a follower in this group. My headcanon for this situation, because I agree, it doesn't make sense that he didn't play a part in this, is that his job was to protect Paul. That Paul told
what?
If Seth decided to come for him. Am I saying it's good? No, but is it better than I have no idea where he went? No, I'd rather at least there's some explanation, even if it's flimsy as hell, and it's for my own head. But Seth gets a big pop, much needed for this matchup. And as they're dealing with the fallout of that, it comes down to just Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Randy and Cody get ready to go one-on-one when Cody is blindsided from behind by the WWE champion himself, Drew McIntyre, having smacked him in the back with the championship belt. Randy, being Cody's friend, does go after Drew, battles with him. Drew gets the upper hand, goes for the Claymore that's dodged. Randy hits the RKO, allowing Cody to then hit the crossroads onto Drew. But Randy, being the Viper that he is, does not take a second to breathe, immediately RKOs Cody out of the crossroads, pins him, securing his shot at the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Now, I'd say there were 2 or 3 legitimate names here that could have won. I'd say it was Cody, Randy, Knight. And then the other 3 were just because you need 6 people in the match.
I would have just done LA Knight to do something different. And if we got to have, the women or something else main event night 1, not this match, just do it. You know what I mean?
So there's a big rumor right now that the WWE Championship match will end up not being a one-on-one match, and that it's going to be a multi-man match. And I think there's enough here that you could justify it, where you could say, well, Logan only got eliminated because, granted, I will flip a shit if Logan Paul is in the WWE Championship match at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
but Cody could easily argue I should have been in this match if it wasn't for Drew attacking me.
But you know what happened after the show, right?
No, what happened after the show?
So we'll get to that in a sec. So first off, I just wanted to say what we were talking about before. Yeah, that sucks for LA Knight. I could see with Seth, it's like they clearly wanted to do. First they wanted to do Seth versus Roman at Mania. Then they wanted to do Seth versus Braun Breaker. And now it looks like Seth versus Logan Paul, which is terribly uninteresting to me.
Yeah.
We've already done it at Mania. So the only thing I can see is Seth Rollins and LA Knight versus Logan Paul and Austin Theory, which is also not interesting.
Yeah, very uninteresting.
I would much rather have Seth bring in Karrion Kross, or have Karrion Kross do one-on-one with Logan. But at this point, I think the only way you could get him, Karrion Kross, is for a tag team match. And that would have to be a one-off because he's with MLW and their contracts are...
Did he sign a contract with MLW or is he just...
he's their champion. I don't know. I don't know. I really wanted the Logan Paul, the 1 year after the Vegas with AJ, to have a one-on-one match with Karrion Kross. Like, it doesn't have to even be good. I just want that match to happen.
I'd be happy for you. I don't feel like that's... I'm not trying to take a shot at anybody. I don't feel like that's a Mania match.
Well, it's Vegas, so...
I guess, but...
That'd be a cool return.
Nothing against Kross, but... just gonna hit this comment real quick. Before we hit the comment real quick, I saw somebody say this online, and unfortunately, I'm inclined to agree. Given all of the negative outcomes that have happened with Division, all the injuries between Bronson Reed, between Braun Breaker, between everything, Seth was probably just better off missing Mania. Like, I get not wanting to. I understand the importance of being at WrestleMania, and no competitor wants to miss WrestleMania.
He's missed one already,
But from a creative standpoint, he would have probably been better off just taking a little more time. But we're here. They're going to do something, and we'll figure out who, what, when, and how.
Well, go to the comments, and then I have another thing I'm going to let you know.
So Dragoon with the hot news item. Don't know if you guys saw, but McIntyre versus Rhodes will be on SmackDown for the title.
That's what I was going to say.
And he says he'd bet good money Rhodes takes the title off of Drew on SmackDown. So I'm not thrilled at that because Drew doesn't deserve that, but it does open the door for getting us a multi-man match at Mania. Because if Drew loses the title, then he's going to want a rematch and he'll insert himself into the WrestleMania match. But it's a bit of a bummer. You can't tell me that you can't come up with something else for Cody to do.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't approve of this, what I'm about to say. But I think, why wouldn't you do, I think Brock Lesnar versus Drew McIntyre for the title is noteworthy. I mean, I don't approve because I don't like the fact that Brock is involved with all this, sex trafficking allegations. Yeah. But the fact that they're like, we don't mind that much, and we'll let you back in the company and you come wrestle.
And he's wrestling at Mania regardless.
Yeah, the fact that he's there, and I'm not saying I feel like he would have to win the title just because it's the rematch of him and Drew. And maybe they don't want to do that too. Like they're like, okay, we can have you in the company, but we don't want you holding our main title because you're involved in a sex trafficking allegation. It's still kind of like it's like
I think if
already
you're
dancing with the devil, you know.
that's my thing. Like, I'm not rooting for Brock in any real way, but if you're gonna use him, use him. Don't just throw him on a card to say you have him on the card. It doesn't do anything for anybody. He's having this open challenge. We're not gonna know who he's wrestling until probably Mania itself.
Yeah, I think maybe it'll be Obafemi. I wouldn't mind LA Knight. The fact is, I think the people are scared it'll be similar to the Dean Ambrose match that Brock Lesnar
Yeah, it shouldn't be Knight.
where-
There's no heat to that match.
The only thing that would work is if LA Knight won, which he's not going to. Brock's not going to lose at Mania to lose at SummerSlam when he retires, unless he had like a full schedule where he was winning every match after Mania till SummerSlam that you kind of forget about that Mania match. But we know Brock, he's not going to have that many matches.
I am hoping, to go off what you said, I am hoping it's Obafemi. And I don't care. Like, at this point, look, let's be real. Brock has a little bit of an ego, but he will do whatever the money says. And the money is going to say to lose. So if he wrestles Oba at Mania, lose to Oba, and then lose to fucking Gunther at SummerSlam.
You really think he's going to take 2 losses?
Yeah, absolutely. He took 2 losses back-to-back to Cody Rhodes. So he's not good. He doesn't fucking care. Like, he was in the middle of the Rumble, just randomly said, just fucking eliminate me. I don't care.
Okay,
he doesn't care. He's getting his pay. He's getting his money. I don't think I am not a fan of Brock Lesnar the person, but objectively, I can say he's never been that much about ego. It's always been about what's the right story that's going to make money. And Obafemi is money right now. If we go in that direction, we'll see. But that's it. I'm going to agree with Dragoon here. Brock Lesnar doesn't have shit to prove. Like, he could lose every match for the next 6 months. So 2 matches, 5 matches, whatever matches. He's still Brock Lesnar. His legacy is what it is. So we'll see. I am 100% on board for Obafemi beating him, killing him, and eating his organs right in the middle of the ring.
In front of his wife and children?
The wife that he kind of stalked into submission. Yeah. You don't know that story?
No, I don't know that story. Should you say it on?
I mean, it's a known story. Brock talked about it himself. When Brock was interested in Sable, she had turned him down apparently several times. And then he apparently just straight up broke into her house, waited for her to come home, and then he took her out on a date. The signs were there for this man a long time ago, but we all just kind of ignored it. Yeah, buddy, I know you're a Bork Laser fan. I'm sorry, but that's this match. Randy Orton's going for number 15 at Mania. Look, I am very much on board with Randy at least hitting 16. So if we're gonna hit 16, he's got to win 15 at some point. I don't know if it's going to happen. We have this Drew Cody match in the middle to see where we go. But I have a real feeling this match, at one point I heard that this might be a 6-man match for the WWE title.
I don't see that happening. Maybe Fatal 4-Way. We haven't had one since 2000.
I don't know if you heard, but apparently the first hour of both nights of Mania are going to be free to watch on ESPN.
Yeah, they were just saying that. I was like, come on, I don't believe that.
Well, I mean, it's legit. Yeah. It's happening. So
you know what's nuts about this? The reason I watched tonight Elimination Chamber is because my brother-in-law bought the ESPN Plus the month, and Royal Rumble was less than a month ago.
Yep.
Now I'm all about I want the more bang for my buck. I'm the consumer. But this is so stupid on ESPN. You should make it a month, but you only get access to one WWE PLE.
Right. Let's hope they don't hear you.
How did I get 2 PLEs with 1 month? You dumb. Who's running this place?
I mean, for everyone's sake, I hope they don't hear you. But I get what you're saying. It worked out in most people's benefit. Dragoon asking, do we know what Gunther is doing yet? Not an idea. No clue at this moment. He could have been in this Elimination Chamber. He was in the triple threat qualifier with Javon and Dominic, but Javon won it. He's been feuding with Dragon Lee, but there is no way that's going all the way to Mania. Like, that'll end at like Saturday night's main event, the next one, which I'm sure, because we're 49 nights or 49 days away from Mania.
There's got to be something, yeah.
There's got to be a Saturday night's main event somewhere in the middle. So that'll probably get resolved there. But as of right now, no guaranteed Mania match, which is nuts for a guy who's done all the things Gunther has done this year. But moving on, we're going to go into what I thought was a much better booked match. I thought this was a much better booked match. The Women's Elimination Chamber, where the winner would go on to face Jade Cargill at Mania for the WWE Women's Championship. We have Rhea Ripley taking on Raquel Rodriguez, Alexa Bliss, Kiana James, Asuka, and Tiffany Stratton. I thought this was laid out much better. I thought the match from beginning to end paced a lot better. I think the winner was pretty easy to determine after what happened on SmackDown last night.
Yeah.
Where Rhea Ripley and Io Sky lost the tag titles very cleanly, by the way. Congratulations to Lash Legend, who is just getting a rocket strapped to her.
I just feel bad for Mara Sade. I mean, she could have won the titles with Lash Legend, like, what, 2 years ago?
I like Sade a lot, and I think she's doing good work
in TNA.
In TNA and on the indies, but
nothing. End of story. Good job.
No, yeah, I just think she needs to develop a little bit more. Legend feels like the full package already.
I won't disagree with that. I just think they were very, very good duo. Like, everyone's been hot on Lash for a while now. I think when they stepped up and did some main roster stuff together in those tag matches, I don't think, I guess she was Jakara Jackson back then. I think she was holding her own. They looked like a well-oiled machine together. It wasn't like, oh, one of these is going to go real far and the other one's going to be, he's going to be out of here. Marty Jannetty, blah, blah. It wasn't like that at all.
But I'd say this match, everybody had a standout moment.
Agreed.
The only person who didn't, unfortunately, was Alexa Bliss, who was the first eliminated, as she was going for the Sister Abigail onto Kiana James. Asuka comes out of nowhere, missed her in the face, and then Kiana takes that moment to roll Alexa up. 1, 2, 3. Alexa Bliss is the first person eliminated. At the next big spot, and I really got to give it to her, Raquel Rodriguez getting a huge moment, being the last woman in the chamber. She hits both Kiana and Asuka with her finish and pins both of them at the same time. Nothing against Kiana James. The bigger name there is Asuka.
Asuka's always, taking. Asuka's always good to get the rub from some.
100%. Like, I love Asuka, and I do hate this narrative that WWE did Asuka dirty. Asuka has done No. I will fight this till the end of time. I love Asuka. She is one of the best workers WWE has ever had. But she has done literally everything there is to do in WWE.
Except winning WrestleMania.
But if you only missed out on one thing,
6 times.
You've got a pretty fucking good career.
I'm saying she is Mount Rushmore of NXT, and I'm not even saying women's NXT. I'm saying overall Mount Rushmore of NXT. She's not even the Mount Rushmore of the main roster women. And
I'd agree. But again, she's beaten every horsewoman. She's won every title. She's won the Rumble. She's won Money in the Bank. Did she win Queen of the Ring? I think she did.
No.
All right. So didn't win Queen of the Ring, but she's done fucking everything. She's won every goddamn title there is to win. She hasn't won the mid-card titles, but guess what? They weren't around for the majority of her fucking tenure in WWE. If she wins it, no one's going to be shocked. So I push back on this narrative that Asuka was done dirty by WWE. She should have beaten Charlotte. I will not deny that. But no, she's fine.
Well, that's where it all went to pieces because she didn't beat Charlotte. She could have main evented WrestleMania with Ronda Rousey the next year.
There is no way on God's green earth that was ever going to happen.
Well, we wasn't gonna happen because we didn't know that Becky was gonna blow up the way she did. But come on, you're telling me if Asuka didn't go for another year undefeated, that she wouldn't have gotten to main event WrestleMania.
In my bones, I'd be willing to bet you, no matter what, she could have beaten Charlotte, made Charlotte say on the mic, Asuka is better than me in every way, and Charlotte was still getting to that main event the next year at Mania. There is no way on God's grace. There's no feud to have. Like, I love her, but there was no way they were going to put her in the main event of WrestleMania against Ronda Rousey. Unless they decided to make it a fatal 4-way, it was never happening.
No, I'm saying if Asuka beat Charlotte,
I understand. No, I fully understand.
And went on to be undefeated for another year.
Nope. What happened to CM Punk with The Rock is what would have happened with Asuka, where she would have dropped it at the Rumble or the Chamber a month before. There is no way. And I love her, but it was just never going to happen. But Raquel Rodriguez getting that big double pin, looking like an absolute beast.
Yeah, that's never been done before. It was very cool.
Yeah. Coming down in the final 3, we have Tiffany Stratton, Rhea Ripley, and Raquel Rodriguez. At one point, all 3 women are in the corner. Rhea is up top, I think, on top of the pod. And Raquel is on the top of the turnbuckle, I guess kind of mounted on top of Stratton, going for the punches. And Rhea just throws her body off the top of the chamber, off the pod, just cannonballing onto Raquel. And that allows her to get into position for Tiffany to hit the prettiest moonsault ever. 1, 2, 3. Raquel Rodriguez is out of the match. And our final 2 are Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton. And they had a lot of time together, the 2 of them. Like, it wasn't a full-on match length of time, but they had a good few minutes together going back and forth.
I think they're hot on Tiffany. Maybe she's not as over as she was like this time last year.
Yeah.
But these 2 women were both champion at the same time last year. Like,
yes.
Yeah, I said Ronda. Rhea was world champion, and Tiffany was WWE Women's Champion. So, and I think they were smart to have Tiffany in there first. That way, it's like, oh yeah, Rhea beat her, but it's not necessarily because Rhea's better and we like Rhea more and she's more popular. It's the fact that Tiffany drew the short straw and has been in this match since the beginning.
Yep.
So it's a good excuse, but it was kind of obvious because I thought for sure Rhea was going to win tonight. For me, though, Tiffany was the second guess, and as soon as she came out last, I'm like, well, Tiffany's not winning tonight.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I thought it was a lock that Rhea was going to win, but if there was anybody who could have upset her, it would have been Tiffany. My dark horse though for this was Alexa.
Really? Okay.
Like, I thought, because Alexa's found her way into spots that surprised the hell out of me in the past, and I think she'd be able to carry a feud with Jade. Not necessarily the way Rhea could, but I think Alexa, especially you have that dichotomy of both of them like to cosplay. Both of them would have had probably grand entrances and grand attires going into the show. But I obviously think Rhea was the right choice, eventually winning after throwing Tiffany face first into the pod. She then hits the Riptide. 1, 2, 3, Rhea Ripley, number 1.
Bloody nose too.
Did she actually get bloodied?
I think when she did the pancake, like she had her on her shoulders and just dropped her face down. You saw like Tiffany go like, oh, like after.
Yeah.
And she did have a bloody nose.
Yeah. Well, I hope she's all right.
This is the match we're getting. I'm kind of like whatever about it. I really wanted Bianca versus Jade. Bianca's obviously not going to get well in time. Yeah. I mean, it's like maybe she should have amputated that finger. I don't know. Like,
Jesus Christ. I mean, I'm glad she didn't have to.
Well, I'm glad it wasn't her thumb. Let's put it that way. Like,
I mean, I am of the belief. I love Bianca. I think this time away is kind of a blessing in disguise because the crowds were starting to like not necessarily turn on her, but they were softening on her quite a bit.
Well, I'm softening on Rhea, so like in big main event spots, you know.
I I think I won't be like this is just my speculation. I think Jade is going to beat Rhea.
Me too.
And that's going to open the door to Bianca versus Jade. And again, I think Rhea is one of the few people that would be able to carry Jade through a match at Mania. I like Jade a lot, but it is very clear she is best when she's going against top tier talent who could guide her through a match.
Agreed.
And nothing against Tiffany, but I don't think she's quite the ring general herself yet. That's Alexa fair. Maybe could, but it's not like Alexa's known for being a great worker in her own right. She's more of a character person. I think this had to be Rhea. And win or lose, she's going to be the person who gets the best match out of her. So excited for this match at Mania, personally.
That's fair. That's fair. And again, they could heat it up in the weeks to come, the month and a half to come. They could just have a great match too. You never know. So again, it's just for me personally, it's just kind of like I wanted it to be Bianca, and I did want Bianca to lose. Like, that's the other thing.
I mean, we also have to deal with the eventual. We're still a way away. The eventual return of Naomi.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. If that turns, I wonder how that's going to be about. Would she go after Jade or would she go after her title? That's the question. What's more important? I mean, were you surprised that she went for the world title and not the WWE Championship?
I wasn't surprised because it had a story where she was a champion. She left them behind. And I thought eventually we would see one of them go after her for the title, either winning the Rumble or whatever it might have been. So I wasn't super surprised, but I was happy. I am 100% behind Naomi. Like, I think she has developed so well since she was released from since the whole debacle with leaving WWE in the first place. So we'll see. Lots of things to be excited for in the somewhat far future.
Hope she's doing well.
Going from one women's match to another, we had the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship on the line as Becky Lynch defended against AJ Lee. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you guys. I was out for my birthday dinner. So I did my best. This was probably the only match that I couldn't watch all the way through, but I did watch it. I watched most of it. I enjoyed most of it. I know a lot of you guys have very much soured on AJ Lee. And I understand why. She came back with a lot of buzz, had the one match, and then went away again for months. I get it. To say that this isn't a money match and a money feud is silly. And I will say, I thought this was a good matchup.
I thought it was solid for the most part. Some of their, kind of brawling, it was a little clunky.
Yeah.
But there was stuff to enjoy here. The manhandle slam, the arc that Becky got on AJ, just great. It's like she always bump like this. Is this why you had to retire because of a bad neck? The way you're just flinging your legs up, and it's just like, where's your head gonna land? Nobody knows. But it looks fucking awesome.
AJ was always very great at selling. She always ragdolled beautifully.
Great word. She definitely ragdolled tonight. Yeah. And she had some cool offense. I remember there was one kind of slide or something she did where it was also just kind of the arc was pretty gnarly.
Yeah.
I did like this match. I do want more for her. I don't need her to do a full-time schedule, but I can't have her be doing the Brock Lesnar schedule.
Yeah.
Especially now that she's champion. A lot of us were thinking this is going to be the title match at Mania, and maybe it will be. Maybe it's a rematch. Who knows? I'm interested to see where the story goes. I don't think we necessarily needed all the cheating if she was going to win anyway, but it's just me.
No, I agree. I do think this is going to be the Mania match. I think it's going to be a rematch, and I think Becky picks up the win there. I think she's probably going to be on TV more weeks than she's not going into Mania. But then I think if she does drop to Becky at Mania, we're probably not going to see her again until probably the build to SummerSlam.
And that sucks. I would like her to have a match on Raw. I thought she should have had a tune-up match on Raw before this title match. I don't expect an AJ open challenge every week, but I want her to defend the title at least once, especially if she's going to just lose it back to Becky, okay, I'm going to wait 47 days before my first title match and it's going to be a loss. That's kind of lame.
I think she will have those matches. Like I'm predicting her versus
Daddy.
maybe I was saying Roxanne. I think we're gonna get that match.
Ooh, that would be really good. Weren't they supposed to have a one-on-one match or something? Or did they have an interaction or something like that?
I think they interacted. I don't think they had the match. I don't think it happened. But
They definitely did. She definitely, yeah. They said they were very clear she hasn't had a one-on-one match, and I thought she did with Roxanne, so they must have just had an interaction.
I wouldn't be shocked if she has a match against Bayley. It really depends on what her plans are and if she's sticking around. She mentioned recently she has a list of people she wants to wrestle. Both of those names were on the list. There were a couple of others. So if she's done after Mania and this was just like, a little return tour and it ends with her losing to Becky, I think that's the right move. But if she's going to stick around, there's no reason to rush through all these matches. Have them happen over the next year or two. She's only 38. She can still go for another couple of years if she so chooses. But time will tell on that one. The match ending with AJ Lee getting the win, having made Becky tap out to
Black Widow.
The Black Widow. Thank you. So happy to see AJ wearing gold for the first time in a very long time.
11 years, and she won it in Chicago. She's basically the hometown hero. And you don't get that a lot in WWE. The hometown heroes don't typically win in their hometown or win titles.
Leading us to our next match as the World Heavyweight Championship was on the line as CM Punk defended against Finn Balor. Now, before we get to the match itself, it needs to be said, I'm an honest man. I've been very honest about my feelings about Punk. Not the biggest fan. That was a fucking cool entrance. That was Michael Jordan on the Chicago Bulls entrance in Chicago for Chicago-made CM Punk.
I actually skipped it because I had to catch up. I started.
I get it. No, I get it.
I'll watch it in a little bit.
It was epic. This man felt like I don't want to sound corny, but it's just the truth. It felt like he was channeling the spirit of Chicago, wearing the Blackhawks gear, all that's like making the Jordan entrance. He felt like Mr. Chicago. So I'm glad the crowd responded to him. I'm glad that he got to have this moment. I'd say this was a bigger, I'd say the only two bigger entrances he's ever had were his return at in AEW and then his WWE return a couple years ago at Survivor Series. That's how big this felt. Okay. I very much enjoyed this match. This felt like a technical match. Punk did his best to really work the legs over of Balor, hitting the sharpshooter a couple of times. My spot of the match was Balor going for the coup de grace, Punk catching him, catching the legs midair, and going for that sharpshooter and turning the coup de grace into a sharpshooter. I know that sounds clunky. It looked fantastic, guys.
He had to start on the ground and pick himself up into the sharpshooter. He struggled just a little bit, but he got it.
And I didn't even hate the struggle because it's like, you know what? That shouldn't look seamless.
Yeah, no, it's a physically struggling thing to do, but you didn't falter. It's just okay, let me do this. What do I got to do? All right, I gotta do it. And we saw you persevere and pull it off, and that's what we love.
Absolutely. I don't use this word often when it comes to matches because I try to save it. It was a breathtaking spot. It was a truly wow, that is a highlight reel clip spot. Back and forth, Balor was really bringing the offense to Punk. He hit his sort of turnbuckle drop kick, that exploder drop kick, but he did it on the outside to Punk, pushing him through the wall, the barricade wall. Yeah. He hit his inverse DDT, going for the coup de grace. Punk hits a GTS that sends Balor out to the outside. And again, just doing his best to work over the limbs of Balor throughout the match. I can't remember the last time I saw Punk wrestle such a technically sound match. But he really brought it for this one in his hometown. Finish coming after hitting again, I'm usually not this complimentary of Punk, but I gotta be. A near picture perfect GTS onto Balor. 1, 2, 3. CM Punk retains the World Heavyweight Championship, securing his WrestleMania spot against the OTC Roman Reigns. After the match, Balor shakes hands with Punk. Punk obviously apprehensive for logistical reasons after everything that's happened, but it was a nice moment. I think we're definitely going to be getting babyface Balor again getting kicked out of the Judgment Day, and we're probably going to get Balor versus Dominic at Mania.
I like that. I mean, I think we want to see Balor win a world title, not the IC title. And in fact, I've said before, like, I want him versus Dom, but I'd rather see him take the AAA championship from Dom.
That'd be cool.
Interesting.
That would be cool.
That being said, I think maybe they want to give it to one of the guys in AAA or El Grande Americanos, one of those.
Yeah, somebody who's going to work that loop a little bit more than Balor probably would.
Yeah, but if winning the IC title from Dom leads to, like, you know, it's a successful title run, and maybe they're like think maybe we could put the world title on him, that I'd be okay with that. You know, Money in the Bank, that'll be here before you know it. So yeah, this was a good match. We did forget to mention that Balor did hit the coup de grace at one point on Punk and did go for the cover. Punk kicked out, so Punk is on the list of the short list of people who have kicked out of the coup de grace. So it's Lesnar, Punk, Priest, probably Joe, because they had a bunch of matches in NXT.
Yeah. I'm going to say probably Roman.
Yes, Roman. Yes, so it's like 5 people. You can fact check me if you want, but like not basically at least 5, definitely no more than 10.
Yeah. A very protected finish. A very, as it should be. It should be. Good memory on that. I didn't call that. But fun matchup. And afterwards, after Finn leaves and Punk is left alone in the ring, he is soon joined by his wife, AJ Lee, with her championship, and both of them celebrate together in the middle of the ring with their belts. I thought it was a fun moment. I thought it was a nice, sweet moment to have.
It was cute. She jumped into his arms. She didn't wrap her legs around him. Like more.
He was a little too tired. I think he was like, I can't.
And it was then, he pointed to his lips because he's like, I'm
bloodied up.
So like probably didn't want her to kiss him.
Yeah.
It was cute. Yeah. I'd say they should do the Eskimo kisses. We're not we're allowed to say Eskimos anymore, but you know, with the noses.
Inuit kiss. Yeah.
Inuit kiss. Thank you. Liv Morgan and Dom Mysterio's thing. So probably didn't want to steal gimmick infringement. You know?
But overall, Elimination Chamber was, I'd say it was a good show. Like, I don't think it was bad by any stretch. I think it was a good show. It just didn't feel spectacular in any way. It didn't feel exciting in any way. And I will fully admit, the card for WrestleMania is shaping up to look pretty fun. But it feels fun on paper, but not in reality right now.
Yeah, I'm not pumped for Mania. Again, maybe I would feel different if I had tickets, or maybe I'd be worried. I don't know. I just don't think this was a spectacular show. It was just fine, kind of like uninspired. I was surprised that AJ Lee won. I will put that out there. But everything else I felt like was very much on the board and predictable. And there's things like I'm not excited about, like Seth Rollins being at Mania to take on Logan Paul, or that's not interesting at all to me. Like,
no, I agree.
No.
The division got really screwed by injury, but I feel like they're just doing a very poor job of pivoting at all in that way. I'm not necessarily clamoring for Rollins versus Brock again, but at least that would be a way of injecting the division with some life, combining 2 feuds, like 2 bound to be matches at Mania regardless.
I would say this is kind of crazy, and it could totally blow up in my face if they did it, but would you insert Seth into the world title picture and have another CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins triple threat match, but this time it's for the world title and it's on night 2? Because night 1 Mania, their match last year was awesome.
It was very good. I think, unfortunately, though, given the fact that Mania is in Vegas 2 years in a row, you can't run that match 2 years in a row.
And it's a night 2. It's for the title. They could make it a different kind of match. It doesn't have to be like a copy and paste. It's just the opponents are copy and paste.
I wouldn't be opposed to it. I just don't. It does not seem like it's in the cards. I think.
I agree. I don't think that's going to happen.
I weirdly think, and I feel bad saying this about Seth, I think Roman Punk alone is a bigger match than having the triple threat again. It would benefit Rollins to be in the match, but I don't think it actually benefits the match itself to have him in it.
Interesting. Okay.
So I would avoid it for now. As it is, it doesn't feel like he's going for a title. It feels like he's going to be stuck with this Vision stuff. Maybe a tag match. I've been under the belief that in the end we were going to find out Austin Theory was a secret mole for Rollins the entire time. That's really what I did think what it was going to be. But now, like, oh no, Logan Paul gets betrayed. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. Again, I wouldn't mind Rollins having to face Logan Paul and Austin Theory, and he has to find a tag team partner. We don't find out who the tag team partner is till Mania, and it ends up being Karrion Kross.
Buddy Matthews.
They have like a... Oh, that's not bad either. But...
it's not going to be.
I would pop for that.
I would too.
Mania pop for that? Probably not. But yeah. I think Karrion Kross in a quick 5 to 8 minute match would be. I mean, like, it would be fine.
A lot of people were predicting. I'm sure you saw the interview where Karrion.
Heyman, yeah.
So I think a lot of people were expecting maybe that Kross would be in the Vision instead. And maybe if you want to do Rollins versus Kross, sure, but I
don't think him being in the Vision makes sense at all because he hates Logan Paul.
Does he?
Yeah, storyline wise, right? He does. He wanted AJ to beat him last year. Remember?
All right. Yeah, fair. Yeah. Look, there's
Alan. I asked you to do one thing, Alan. I asked you to do one thing.
There's 49 days until Mania. I'm sure they'll be able to put this together. I'm really hoping that they do for everyone's sake.
I mean, look at WrestleMania 37. That year was just absolute dog crap. It was awful. And they turned out to just have a pretty solid WrestleMania. Like there was really nothing to complain about. It's like, this is just pretty entertaining from top to bottom. If you like pro wrestling, if you like WWE, this is enjoyable.
Yep. We know some of the top matches. We know all 4 world title matches. We have Roman versus Punk. At this point, at this moment, Drew versus Randy. Liv versus
Stephanie Vaquer.
And Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill. That's 4 matches right out the gate. We know we're going to get some more title matches. Probably Finn Dom. The tag titles will have a fun time on SmackDown. Guess that we're probably getting Becky AJ. Rumor I'm hearing is Julia versus Io for the women's US title, which I think would be a good match.
Ooh, that could cook.
Yeah, that could be really good.
I don't know how because Io is on Raw and Julia's on SmackDown.
The theory is Io's just gonna follow Rhea over to SmackDown.
Okay.
Does it make sense? No, but am I going to complain?
It's like, do I hate it? Like, am I willing to just buy into it? Sure, why not?
Yeah. And I think we're probably going to get Jacob Fatu versus Sami Zayn.
Interesting. And it's like, I wonder if he gets in, because you mentioned multi-guys for the Mania World title match. Logan Paul got his spot after Drew McIntyre screwed Jacob Fatu last night. So I was thinking maybe we were going to have Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes versus Jacob Fatu for the WWE Championship, which seems kind of crazy, but at the same time, it's just like, why not give Jacob a big platform?
We got to figure out something for the Usos too, and with Jay having gotten taken out, and most likely it being Sammy's going to need a tag partner. Don't know who that'll be, but
Sammy didn't benefit from Jay getting taken out, right?
So the theory I heard was that he did it, and he purposely didn't try to get put into the match so he could claim deniability.
but then he gets nothing to do.
I mean, I think it's more just about screw you, Jay, for having taken like my spot where I could have been a main eventer, but you beat me to it.
Why couldn't he have just attacked Cody? Would that have been too obvious?
Probably. I mean, either way, this is going to be very messy, no matter what.
Messy. Sammy's
looking hella guilty right now.
I just want Kevin. I know Kevin's hurt. Just be on his shoulder. Just be like the Kermit. Can we get the Kermit meme?
I'd be all for it. I miss Kevin so much.
Yes, we love you, Kevin. We hope you're well. Even if you can never wrestle again, we just want you to be happy and healthy.
Happy and healthy, baby. But guys, that was the Elimination Chamber. At the rate we're going, we're almost going to be on just as long as the pay-per-view itself. I enjoyed it. Wish I was a little more excited about it, but I do think they're putting in the groundwork for a solid Mania.
Yeah, I think I'd be more excited for Mania if the tickets were reasonable. Like, again, at WrestleMania 37, I'm sure they were much more reasonable. And again, that show came together. It'd be nice. I think this show will come together. I think it will deliver, but it just, the price is definitely.
Were you looking to go to Vegas?
I'd love to go, yeah, because I didn't get, like, a lot of people are like, oh, you can't do the same venue twice. And I'm like, I get you'll get less people, but I didn't go last year. I've never been to Vegas. I'd love to go.
Oh, ticket prices are pretty, they're dwindling right now because they are not selling out. But, we'll see. I might make that judgment call as April approaches. We'll see.
Amen, brother. Amen.
But guys, this was the Market Down podcast. I am James Gisanti, and I was joined by Matt Gascone. We had a lot of fun with you tonight. We hope you had a lot of fun with us. But overall, the road to WrestleMania has been a little meh. If you love us, if you're one of our regulars, we love you too. If you're a newbie, and we have a few newbies lately, thank you for checking us out. Don't know what brought you to us, but hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, be part of the party. We cover everything: WWE, AEW, TNA, Ring of Honor, New Japan, all of them, all the pay-per-views, everything. Indies, we just covered House of Glory. Check us out, subscribe, be part of the party. And if you want to check us out in other places, check us out on social media. Matt kills it on Instagram. We have Facebook. We have X, we have Blue Sky, we have TikTok. We're everywhere. Yep, we're here on YouTube. So check us out. We love you. We really love you. Matt, any closing comments before I end the shindig?
Yeah. Shout out to NYWC, New York Wrestling Connection. They had their biggest show of the year tonight, Psycho Circus. Nice. Sorry we couldn't be there. I actually did want to go, but I couldn't find anybody who wanted to go with me, and it's a bit of a drive. And so the pay-per-view, this PLE was free for me, so that's why I chose this. But we will try and cover a show there soon. Like I said, we like to cover all indie shows, and that's on Long Island where I'm at, so it's pretty easily accessible. What else? Subway Mania. They just got a documentary from Vice. Vice put out a short documentary on Subway Mania. It is free, available on YouTube. It's 21 minutes and change. So check that out. You'll see all kinds of behind the scenes stuff with Tim Rivera and the Subway Mania gang. And you'll actually see me. I got some B-roll, and Tim gave me a very nice shout out in that episode particularly. It was a year and a half ago, the second time I was going to Subway Mania. And Tim, we were like friendly acquaintances at that point. And he pulled me aside. He's like, Matt, my sound guy's not here. Like, I need someone to do sound. Like, can you do sound? And I was just kind of like, I kind of just want to cover this for my pod. But Tim's a nice guy. And Tim's asking me for a favor. So I'm just like, yeah, I'll do it. And that's how I became Subway Mania's sound guy and eventual Subway Mania Joe Hendry for one episode. So the sky's the limit. Always keep your options open and always say yes. Like when no, I don't want to say when it's convenient to you, but when it's, always look for opportunities, and saying yes helps.
Say yes to the universe, kids.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. Matt Cascone, James Gisanti, Mark It Down Pod. We will be back on either Monday or Wednesday. We'll see you soon. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.